are on location in Kamloops, and we are live. I am Kelsey Bell. This is Shay Paul. Oh,
and I'm
hey,
Ryan from Kamloops.
You're not Todd. Todd, you look different today.
Sorry, Todd's a little busy. He'll be right here. Shay, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
I already interviewed Shay. I was just joking.
Hey,
Todd, get in here, man.
You're stealing our thunder.
He's trying to steal
my job.
And maybe we should just talk about the bread bridge and introduce it as the bridge itself first, so people know.
Yeah.
So the Red Bridge was a wood bridge. How old was it? Do you know when it was built?
Yeah, so, I mean, my brain is not pulling numbers correctly right now, but there was 3 versions of the bridge.
Yes.
So the one that we know was about 80 years old, or roughly a bit more than 80 years old, but it has been here since the late 1800s as a bridge, and back then it was done with that red cedar, I think it was red cedar. The wood was red, that's why they called it the Red Bridge.
Right, but it was burnt down, like, back in the day too, and that's why we were given the second one or the third one. Wow.
So many bridges.
Yeah,
bridges.
There's quite a lot of bridges. I know, and my brain's definitely trying to connect the dots here
but
as well.
The one we're talking about is the 80-year-old one.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't mean to be all mushy and sappy about a bridge, but I mean, as an artistic person, I really loved it. I love old things from the past, and things that are just unique. And it was unique in its color and in its material.
It's been what, like a year at least,
Actually,
or
yeah.
how long
It
has
has.
it? Yeah.
So we had it was the 1-year anniversary on September 19th, which is actually when we announced this exhibition is on the 1-year anniversary. So we were able to get 24 different artists, and we've got 45 pieces, and we've got some crazy partnerships. And I'll take some time now just to kind of ramble them off. So we've got the Kamloops Arts Council, which is the one here providing the space and also providing this overfill room that we have in this main gallery where we're not supposed to be. But they're gracious enough to give us the space here. There's the Kamloops Museum and Archives that provided a few different archival photographs and newspaper clippings. There's the Kamloops Heritage Railway that provided actual pieces of the Red Bridge.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've seen them yet, but they're in there.
Very cool.
They're hidden in the back, so I know when you arrived it was quite full in there.
Yeah.
But they are located in the vault. And then United Way BC, the Thompson-Nicola Caribou region branch, they're providing some funding for this. So they're the ones that helped make our Kukuli Bannock and snacks and drinks happen today.
Bannock.
So we're hugely thankful for that, and they are also the ones that have booked and provided an event photographer, and that is Jess Bodin, I believe is her last name. I'm blanking on it right now, but Jess is another local person that you should have on your watch list.
Excellent.
Some of you might have seen the 10 people in Kamloops
She sounds so familiar.
to watch, and she made that list, so that was really cool that we're all just coming together as a community, as community partners. Like the fact that you guys are here, huge thank you for that.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Pleasure to be here, yeah. Can you talk a little bit about how this came together? Because as soon as I sort of heard that this exhibit was happening, like it became a kind of a like, oh well, of course there should be this kind of remembrance or celebration of, or however you want to phrase it. So did you get the ball rolling on it? Was it somebody else?
It was someone else.
Yeah.
So another one of our artists, and this is kind of where I came in with my role. So this artist is Teresa Rush, and she is a local artist, and she's been doing some of the more community-based group exhibitions lately. She's one of the artists that is a heavy participant at the Indigenous Resurgence project and part of our collective. So she is the one that had this idea. This is her baby, and she really wanted to engage people and kind of get people thinking about, you know, what does the bridge mean to all of us? And so we were talking about it, brainstorming about it, and I was like, okay, if you want to do this, let's make it happen. My background is in event management and coordination, and I've done curation before. So this was like, okay, if you need the logistics for it, let's make it happen. Let's book the show, let's book the gallery. I'll do the social media run, I'll manage the artist intake so that all of that back-end paperwork is done and we're getting the promotional material out there. And it's been really great too, because I mean, like so many of our artists, they don't always like the spotlight. So she gets to do the work behind the scenes, and then she pushes me out and she's like, you go do the media interview, Shay. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. So, but the drive behind it was very much from that community. Like, we were affected as artists. And that was huge to be able to have a space to talk about that. And just the type of engagement that I do in community, I was like, of course, we need to open this up and start bringing everyone in. Because I want to hear what other people's memories are. I want to hear how this impacts other people. Because I only have my one perspective, right? And we're not going to learn about each other's perspectives unless we get together like we are today and actually talk about them.
And it feels like it's been an incredible sort of like response from artists who've wanted to participate in this. And it has. And I've been so busy today that I haven't been able to hear much. But from the few and far between that I have heard, it's something that's touching a lot of people. I was talking to another artist earlier, and she was like, "Oh yeah, no, there's people crying in there." And I was like, "Oh,
really?"
Yeah, I'm not surprised because there's quite some emotional things shared, but
I got emotional when it happened at the time.
Absolutely.
And I felt a little like guilty about it, but there's a lot of
Kelsey,
people.
I woke up that morning and I bawled my eyes out.
Really?
I did.
So what did it mean to you? I got goosebumps. You gave me goosebumps. So why did it make you upset?
So I don't
Besides
have
the convenience part.
I was gonna say, like, I don't have my own vehicle. So I live on reserve. And I used to walk across that bridge. That was my main mode of transportation, is I would walk into town because it was faster than taking the bus at the time. Because the bus at that point was very unreliable and they didn't have a good schedule, and it only ran 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. And I remember telling people that, and they were like, can they even do that? And I was like, yeah, they can, because they're doing it with us. But that of course, that has changed, and I'm so thankful that has changed. But I remember waking up that morning and looking at my phone, and I had texts. My mom had tried calling me just to let me know. It was all over social media, and I remember this intense feeling of like my thread and my connection to the city was just severed. Like, I felt trapped almost. Like, that was that feeling of like, oh my goodness, how am I going to remain connected when my main way to get in and to have that autonomy, to be able to freely go where I want to go, whenever I want to go, that was gone all of a sudden. So it hit me quite personally. And that was something that I don't know, kept with me and wanted to talk about that and share that. So that was a little bit on my part of my drive for why we were doing what we were doing, because I knew that there was other stories like mine. I knew that, like, I was still privileged that I could borrow vehicles and I could schedule things and, you know, find my way around alternatively. And like, I did have a bus, but like, what about those people who started work, because it's the industrial park over there. So I was like, what about people who start work at 6 that now they don't have any way to get to work?
On the highway, like by the residential school, that area, I've noticed there's a lot more people on their bikes and walking, and that's probably because of the Red Bridge. They're probably
It absolutely is. And as someone who's walked that way, it is, and that's not a really, like, still to this day, that's not safe. It's not safe. The shoulder is so narrow. Like, I can tell you, the narrowest part of that walk along the highway, it's about So it's like you have the concrete part where it goes and it drops down onto the highway, concrete here. And then you have this little narrow walking path. And on the other side is the drop off down towards the wetlands there. So it's really unsafe, and I've been trying to do some advocacy work, just letting people know and like having conversations with at least like my band, because I live over there, so that's who I'm talking to. Yeah. Just to like bring this up, because if you're not biking and you're not walking, then you don't know what it's like to actually walk that way. You don't know how nerve-wracking and anxiety-inducing it can be.
Similar with people with, disabilities. You don't know what it's like until you have to push someone in a wheelchair, and you're like, oh my God, you need a ramp here.
Speaking of that, there's one woman that I see every once in a while, and she has a motorized scooter, and she has to drive on the actual side of the highway.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So that's something I see every once in a while, and I go, like, this is why we need some sort of alternative. And I mean, a bridge would be great, but I know realistically that's not going to happen. So I'm like, how can we safeguard our pedestrians in the meantime by making more accessible means in and around that area, maybe on the side of the highway there? Like, I don't know. I don't have the answers for that, but I can only share my experience as a pedestrian that's walked that. Yeah, exactly.
So there's how many artists? 24?
24 artists, 45 pieces.
I assume all of them are painters, but I'm guessing not.
Oh, no, absolutely not. We should come this way a little bit.
I'm not sure who's in the frame.
Yeah, who knows nowadays? There is...
I saw some paintings. What else is there?
So there's a lot of things. So we've got the archival footage from the museum. We've got actual pieces of the bridge from the Heritage Railway. We have a stone and glass mosaic piece. We've got watercolor. We've got acrylic. We've got written work, poetry. What else do we have? Photography, of course. Charcoal pieces, pencil pieces, and one of my favorite pieces is a piece by a local artist, Danielle. Oh! And she did an audio soundscape. How do you feel about being on a little interview? You want to come? Okay, perfect. Well, then come on in here.
Mostly harmless. Come on in.
Yeah.
Welcome. Good to see you again.
Very good to see you. Yeah, thanks for supporting Shay and the Indigenous Resurgence project, and it's
Teresa.
Yes. Yeah.
And what was your part in all of this? How did you contribute?
I contributed a sound capsule that was attached to the Red Bridge in 2020 as a part of a Culture Days sound walk that I curated. It was one of 4 site-specific capsules that contained, through the access of a illuminated QR code on the front of the capsule, it activated, each of the 4 activated site-specific sound works that it created using field recordings of those sites. So the reason why I chose the Red Bridge is because my immigrant parents had their first little home pretty much right underneath the Red Bridge by the tracks. That little shack is no longer there. And so when I think about the Red Bridge, I think that that's the very first sounds I had ever heard as a baby. So, like, I don't remember the sounds because I was only a baby, but I just kind of harken back to, well, what sounds would I have heard while I was also hearing the sound of, like, my parents' Italian language and all of that. So it was all kind of like my first sounds. And my Italian kind of faded away when I went to school. The shack is gone. I was always like harkened back to the site because I wanted to hear the sounds of like my first home. So I did use record a field recording from underneath the bridge of the traffic that was going over the bridge, because I thought, okay, I must have heard that. And now that the bridge is gone, it's like another piece of my history is gone. And then I started thinking about, well, what about like the people who like actually relied on crossing the bridge and walking, like needing to walk across the bridge for work.
That was Shay. She was just saying that.
Yeah. And so I thought there's some loss in this project, and I think that coming together on it helps us put together the pieces of our very diverse forms of loss.
I love hearing and understanding everyone's perceptions, like a musician's perception or like more of the
Visual arts
type of perception. It's really neat to hear, like, the sounds of the bridge. I can think of the sound of the bridge when you talk about it, like when I'm, on the Pioneer Park, in Pioneer Park, and I could hear the dunk. I could still hear it when I think about it.
Yeah.
Well, you could hear it in this exhibition if you go into the vault and you scan Daniela's QR code.
So cool.
But I was also speaking with Colleen Staten, who also has a piece, 2 pieces here, and it talks. Hers presents more of the real history of like the 3 different bridges that were at the site, and she just mentioned to me when I went down there, I heard the wood creaking.
Yeah.
Because it, like, all this wood kind of like rubbing up against each other to kind of like was engineered to support the bridge, right? So she mentioned to me that she liked going under the bridge just to hear the structure actually resonating.
That sound made a lot of people nervous, though.
It did. It really did. Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah.
It's nice that exactly, like, some people disliked it and some people really loved it just for the smallest little details and the simplicity of it. And
I am immensely happy with the way that this exhibition has been going. I have been so caught up talking to people that I haven't been able to actually check in with what the audience vibe is out there. So I plan on just checking in and doing that. But from what I had heard earlier, it's been really well received. And I'm happy that people are talking about it. I've shared this, I think, already with some people, but leading up to when we were doing the install, I had stopped and just gone out to grab a coffee, taken a break from doing the install, and I had overheard someone else in the coffee shop talking about this show, and I was like, okay, that's a marker of like, okay, it's...
That must make you feel good.
It was crazy. So it was just to have that and to know that, okay, it's getting out into community in ways that I hadn't anticipated or expected before. And I'm always like, I always set my expectations low because that's just who I am as a person. I'm along for the ride. So if it's, and that's the nature of events though, is if you've got 5 people, you've got 5 people. If you got 100 people, you've got 100 people. But you can't predict events all the time. And yeah.
It's special that whether it's 5 or 100, we're all on the same kind of vibration and same page. Like we
exactly.
just love the Red Bridge.
Yes, and that's the point. Is like if it was just the 25 artists that got to come here and come together and share their stories and meet each other, then that's great. And if it's 100 people that came from around the community to check out the show and engage the artists, then all the better.
And what did you do for your art piece?
So mine is one where the Red Bridge is burning. It's in the vault, and
it's a photo of the bridge.
It's a painting.
Oh,
sorry.
it's a painting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So mine is an acrylic painting on canvas. It's called "The Burning of the Red Bridge," and as the title describes, it's the unfortunate end to the Red Bridge.
Did you paint this because you heard there was a thing coming up about it, or were you already inspired on your own time and you painted it once it was burnt down, or how did it happen?
Yeah, it was the latter. So I was living in Toronto when it happened, and I had it sent to me by a couple people. I was born and raised in Kamloops, and then I moved back to Kamloops, and me and a childhood friend were talking about the bridge, and we both grew up around the river. And she came up with this theory. So this isn't what happened to the bridge, but she came up with her own story about what has happened.
Yeah.
And it was something about, you know, I think she was like, I think it was two lovers and they had to separate, they had to go separate ways, and it was too painful, so one of them decided to burn it down. Again, this is not what would happen, but she had
But
this
it's
very
like the
beautiful,
myth-making.
poetic, of course. And so I was like, that is such a cool story, and I was facing my own breakup at the moment, and I was like, I feel like this needs to be represented through art. And so that's how it started, and it started about a year ago. So I did multiple versions of the painting, and then...
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and then the one that I presented in here, I saw the open call for Shay was doing for the exhibit. I was like, that is perfect. The themes work so nicely together from where I was coming from with the painting, and so...
I keep getting goosebumps for certain little moments because, yeah, it just kind of, it's all synchronicity is what it is.
I have an idea for one more rendition.
What's that?
I'd like it to be a little bit more abstract.
Yeah, I love abstract.
With some multimedia mixed in, to be more expressive than just more of a... I did put my own artistic direction on the reference photo that I used, if you see the painting, but I want it to be a little bit more abstract, a little bit more expressive in the presentation.
Do you have a website or anything that people can follow you on?
Yeah, so my Instagram is sophiagrace.arts, and then my website is sophiagracearts.framer.com, and yeah, you can contact me through there, or you can see my other stuff through those streams. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sure, yeah.
Todd, would you like to just read the description of the card? Not the whole
Sure.
write-up, but the...
This is a written story, Time Travels by Mike Waddell.
Okay. Yeah, that's are those small canvases that it's printed on, or is it like
They
wood
look
pieces?
like small, maybe, well, I can't really tell.
Tile?
I probably shouldn't
It's cool.
touch them too much.
Yeah, my mom will yell at you if you
Yeah.
touch art.
Here we have, it's called August Calm.
I like how you
Tammy
said it in a
Couture.
calm way.
Kamloops Triptych, Red, Yellow, and Blue by Parm Armstrong. This is really cool, actually. I like
It
this
is.
quite a bit.
I really like that.
We have Here
Oh,
I
wow.
See You Again.
Is that acrylic too? Looks or
Oil on Canvas.
oh, I love that.
Insun Kang. Red Bridge Timber.
Oh,
Casey McCauley.
so is that a photograph of it or like a? I wonder if
I was
they did
provided
that.
with some of that timber from the Red Bridge after the structure was salvaged and used one piece to make a limited print series. So it's a print, I guess, made from one of the salvaged pieces of wood, which is
Cool.
pretty cool.
Oh, see, that's the sort of thing I appreciated was like the patina and the the wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like.
Up Close and Personal Red Bridge Perspectives by Karen Will.
I really like
Watercolor
the.
on wood. We got some more color over here.
I like that. It's abstract.
These are
kinda-
by, I don't know if I'm going to get the name right, but Magizi Inini?
Is this the mosaic?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Barb McLean, Rock and Glass Mosaic.
I love that. What's the material that they used? Is it glass and stone? Or?
It says rock and glass, so probably rock and glass.
Okay.
Here's Garfield. And these are hilarious. Oh, hang on.
What is this?
Okay, this is Loopser. This is Nevin.
I was gonna say.
You got some memes.
I was gonna say this reminds me of Nevin.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, Nevin, you're hilarious, dude. And I like the clipboard. It's a nice satirical touch. Okay. Oh, felt.
That is fun
Oh,
too.
whoever did that, like your fingertips must hurt. Have you tried felting
I have
before?
not.
Oh, you have to poke yourself in it. Well, or that's how I did it, and it hurt. I love that.
There's a typo. Reflections. I think it's meant to be reflections of the Red Bridge. Charlene Reed. And here we have what looks like a poem.
You want to read it?
Paint faded and peeling, ruts driven into your deck. Narrow passage, pickups, mirrors nearly scrape each other. As they pass, one goes north, the other south. Bridge between cultures to Kamloops and settler taken for granted. Your potential untapped, reparation disregarded. Neglected boards warped, sprung nails poke out from weather-roughened surfaces, used and abused by drivers and pedestrians and bridge jumpers who leapt from your deck. Supplanted by another bridge, like an old person, shoved aside and forgotten until it suits us to remember. When traffic and endless construction made you convenient once again, finally flame gobbled your wooden frame. 3 spans dropping into the South Thompson River, tributes flow. Residents mourn on both sides, more attention paid to your elderly bones than in countless decades. Too late, we treasure you.
That's stunning. Who did that? That's a large piece.
This is Lisa Larson.
Lisa Larson.
Red Bridge at Sunset. Ooh, quite
Well
the
done,
echo in
Lisa
here.
Larson. They're all beautiful.
Here we have Red Bridge at Sunrise, Patricia Kellogg.
Yeah.
Blazing Sun, I think everything is okay. Elliot Andrew.
That's an interesting one too.
Yeah, it's got kind of a fisheye lens.
It's almost, yes.
Look to it.
That's a different view of it for sure.
So these are photos over here.
Oh, okay.
One Last Dance, The Last Picture, Moonlight Picnic, We Howl at the Moon.
These are all from the same guy? Same lady or person?
No. We have Shiloh Thompson, we have Neil Van Dongen, and we have Christina Ayer.
This is the lady that we just interviewed.
There we go, Burning of the Red Bridge.
Wow. And that's a, did she say oil?
It is acrylic.
Acrylic. Wow.
Looks like more photos. Chef
Oh,
Pool. A road interrupted. So this is like sort of capturing the immediate kind of aftermath of it, I guess, with the bridge closed sign and the barriers.
This one.
Together We Rise by BB Bible, and Playing Fetch with Your Daughter, Christina Douglas. This is representing her as a 4 or 3-year-old crossing the Red Bridge to go play in a field.
Huh. Wow.
Community impact. As part of the exhibition, we invite community members to leave a note reflecting on what the Red Bridge meant to them. These reflections acknowledge that impact is not singular, it is shaped by lived experience, access, and perspective. Is that one of the pieces of the Red Bridge? Yeah.
Missing Voices, this is Shay mentioned that one.
And this is from the Museum and Archives.
More than just an old bridge. And that's in a paper that doesn't exist anymore.
It is true, it does not.
True history. Look at this.
Right? Buggy crossing.
That's so cool. Okay, and last bit here.
Interesting facts.
Okay, so we did, let's get this straight here. So the first bridge was built 1887 to 1912. So that really didn't last very long. 1887, built, December 31st, 1887. It cost $7,000.
Yep. And then there was the second one from 1912 to 1936 that there is little known about.
Why?
I don't know. Not a lot of documents. Maybe it was done by the mob.
And then 36 to the year 2024. Oh, so the wood came from Stanley Park? No way.
Where did you see that?
The tree.
Oh, well, so I think it's that
Or it's just the same type
they're
of...
from Douglas firs, but
I
not
see.
necessarily from Stanley Park Douglas firs. I think.
Oh, and it's
prefer
a
not
truss,
to-
Todd. It's a truss. I was right.
Oh, my
Or it's
God.
a tress.
Yeah, well, it is a trestle bridge as well. So
Oh,
we
no, look at
were
that.
we were in the vicinity of.
Two smarty pants.
Yeah.
Well, come back when I'm not working and not holding a tripod. What do you think? Are you going to come back?
I don't know. Probably not.
Just say yes.
Yeah, sure.
God.
Yeah, why not? I'll come back with you. We'll come check it out together. Why not?
But there's so much to see at the Old Courthouse. There's even an art gallery.
I want to, and I think maybe before I go, this is Daniela's. I want to check that out.
Let's do that right now. How do we?
It's not. The audio here is going to be terrible.
Okay. See, when
But
she was describing it was hard to understand.
if you zoom in on it, maybe people at home, you can probably use that QR code to give a listen to
I don't know.
what Daniela has put together.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder how that.
If you want to do that, you can do that. And speaking of QR codes,
Oh, segue.
there might be,
Yeah.
and in fact, I've now seen some edits that show that the QR code does show up at the end of our stream. So
It does.
it's a QR code that's going to be on the screen here, if not now, then any minute now, that you can use to get in touch with us if you want to stream with us live on location Kamloops. We would love to hang out with you. We'd love to chat with you about whatever you got going on. So yeah, use that QR code on your screen. We'll be in touch if you wanna stream with us. I'm Todd Sullivan.
You are.
And you are?
Kelsey Marie Bell.
Yes, you are. We are at the courthouse, Old Courthouse, not just any courthouse, the Old Courthouse Gallery in Kamloops. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
No. You